Islam family. Sharon Tracy Gale Bay here. Islam. The reasons why I came on live today is nationality. It is definitely the order of the day, and a lot of individuals need a little bit of assistance. I created instructions, and I have to kind of like streamline those instructions. I know right now everybody's traveling and trying to get to their destinations as to wherever the heck they're traveling to, and we have to really invest in our future. We have to really invest in ourselves. We have to really put nationality at the top of, and the knowledge that comes with that at the top of our responsibility. And I say this, family, because too many times you sit and want to watch videos, right? Even this video, which I'm not going to make it long, because I value your time. I value the things that you need to do, right? In your daily lives. So this live's not going to be long. And I just want to tell you, we need to put a little effort in freeing ourselves, and that effort is gaining knowledge. Now, when I was a babe in nationality, and when I was a babe in Moorish science, one of the things that annoyed me was everybody is doing something different. Everybody has a little piece, and give you a little piece, like you're a freaking baby, like you're a freaking child. Like they want to drop a crumb and you pick up the crumb. I don't want to drop a crumb and you pick up the crumb. I want to literally tell you what you need to do, tell you the information that you need to ingest to be able to articulate yourself so you can ultimately free yourself from the lack of knowledge, which is the disease our people have. The lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge of self, the lack of knowledge of the natural laws, and the lack of knowledge of what's really hindering them. Because there's no one else hindering you. Everybody's just using you and violating you. But the person that's hindering self is self. That's you. That's me, right? Nationality is what I'm looking to do first and foremost. So if you send Moorish American Consulate, ne@gmail.com, anything, the first thing you better be sending me is the establishment of your nationality, your status change, your status correction. That is the first thing, and that's technically the only thing I really want to say right now from Moors. When situations come up, we have to handle those situations. And always remember, I'm not Superman, and I cannot fly down in my Moorish cape to your rescue. You need to ingest this information to free yourselves. And I don't understand why you think this is a game and that you should be playing and that you shouldn't be vesting time and energy in learning what you need to know, and why this is just a game, and why this is fun for you and not priority. And I'm being serious, family. When we register individuals, which is all we're registering is the fact that you've done that first step, which is realign yourself with your ancestry, realign yourself with the great God Allah, realign yourself with your birthright and your culture. And that should be the first thing you want to do. My question is, why is that not the first thing you want to do? And why is that that's like number 10, number 6, number 4? What supersedes that? I would love to know. Because everything else that comes is because you lack that. So that got to be the first thing you do, family. And while I don't think that anybody, Moorish, national, whatever you call it, can deny you your birthright. I don't care, or put strings attached to it to say you have to fill out something a completely specific way. Your declaration and proclamation to your ancestry and your realignment first starts within. And that's the first place it has to start. Because in order for it for you to articulate it to a point where you can manifest it in actual documentation, it has to be in your heart. So that's the very first thing. So that's what I look for. You don't understand, when I get these nationality orders, my soul speaks and it jumps up for joy and I got so much energy, you have no idea. Because that is the first thing that we jacked up on, y'all. Knowing who we are. That is the very first thing. We messed up. So that's the very first thing we got to correct. Can't correct anything else till we correct that. So my question is, why aren't you putting a little bit of time and energy in reading those documents? Because the feelings and the spirit that is going to connect with you from reading those documents, let me tell you, read the name, declaration, correction, read the judicial proclamation. If you don't do anything in one day, read that document and read it in one day. Get it done. Read it. And then read it again the next day. And then read it again the next day. And then all of the supporting documentations that is within those beautiful documents, read that. Here's the beautiful thing that you have today that I didn't have when I first nationalized, when I first became conscious of who I am and where I come from and what I've been denied. Not necessarily from anybody else, but yeah, because chapter 25 I hold all Moors accountable to. It's your duty to assist me if I'm in need. Brother, whether I'm a brother or a sister, it is your duty. And you know, if you know what's my error, and if you know what I'm lacking, it is your fiduciary responsibility as my brother or my sister to assist me. So I hold all Moors accountable for that. All Moors, including myself. That's why I don't go crazy about nothing. I send, I get, I receive, I send. And some things are going to get overlooked because the realities are Allah is in this baby. Allah is all in this baby. It might be pushing you off for a particular reason. Your email might be overlooked for a particular reason. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's old. All right, thank you.
Hey, give me.
So the point I'm trying to make, family, is invest in you. Love you. Fix what's broken in you. And that nationality is the first fixing. It's the first, thing you have to fix with self. Right? Now, I see all these Facebook lives with all these people talking. I ain't a talker, y'all. I'm serious, straight down, business, action, getting things done. Got time to complain. I ain't got time to be mad. I ain't got time to be crying, even though I do cry. Because that is a release. You have to release that energy that is pent up. That for those fears you might have, those concerns, just the whole realities of the fact that for your whole life you've been working and building somebody else's empire, which is literally yours. So, I mean, it's still yours, but at the same time, as opposed to being the beneficiary and the one who's benefiting off of it, you're not. Someone else is, who's claiming you, who's using your signature when you sign for something. But I don't even want to get all into, that. What I want to talk about is nationality, and I'm going to put the instructions. I'm going to fine tune it where it's like 1 page or maybe 2 pages of instructions of how to complete those documents, how to complete them, and how to send them in. Right? All legal declarations have to be on legal paper, even though it's a lawful declaration, so it should actually be called lawful. It should be an 8.5 by 14 paper. Everybody's going to sit here and be like, oh, I don't know what the heck that is. What is 8.5 by 14? We have this letter size paper here. Yeah, that's how they got you they got you discombobulated. If you even getting anything in the mail and it ain't on legal paper or lawful paper, it ain't lawful. And people pay special attention to that. And it's so funny because this thing is telling me I'm not on live, which is an issue that I'm having on my phone, but it's okay because I'm going to upload it. I'm going to do that. Right? So I don't need anybody to be physically available at this particular time to like my video or to be here. I'm trying to get a message across. And that message is put time in you. And I know you're not used to it. Believe me, I do. And sometimes you're going to be reading something like, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. And you just got to read it again. And again. And again. Watch some videos that might clarify some of those points that they're talking about. Because, we don't just read things. We are pictorial. We are visual individuals because we're not so basic or plain. We have temples and big, beautiful buildings with all types of artwork on it. Because we were pictorial types of people. We didn't necessarily have to write anything down and just sit here and read a book with a bunch of words on it. But we also had the ability to imagine the things that we're seeing. Like literally as if it was a movie we're watching. The name declaration is 2 pages. The judicial proclamations between 6 and 7, depending on if you add something or take some things out. You have to put your birth name. No need to put it in the all caps, because you're not the nom de guerre, and your mom didn't name you the nom de guerre when you were born. She just named you, but she didn't know what she was doing. She was unconscious. So like many of our mothers here today are unconscious, and many of the sons are taking very, very, very much advantage of them, but they don't even realize they are literally running in a hamster wheel. Because if mom's broke, you're going to continue to be broke until you fix her, or at least try to help her fix herself. Give her some type of knowledge. Don't just sit here and take everything from her. So on the name declaration proclamation, you're going to put your new Moorish appellation. You can't choose Ali. Ali's not something you can just choose, because you're supposed to have a specific knowledge base before you get that's appointed. It's El and Bay family. It's El or Bay. Some people use both El or Bay. What does Spirit tell you to do? Stop listening to people and stop listening to broadcasts. Listen to the Spirit within. Because most of the time, you already know what to do. You just second guess yourself because you're not used to using the Spirit within to navigate. And that is the problem. Because a lot of us strayed from our God to the idol gods of Europe we knew nothing about, which is where all of our issues come from, because we realigned ourselves with a false deity and a false god, and that's what we have to fix. So I'm going to put the instructions in the file section of the Northeast Division, and I suggest other divisions. I wanted to merge the divisions because I think we don't need, not divisions, I'm sorry, because that is a separation. The different groups, I want to bring them all together so we're all on one accord in one the group. I really want to do that, but I have to bring it to the judiciary so everybody is in agreement of that, so we're not duplicating efforts. I'm not a duplication of efforts person. I like to get stuff done, and I don't like to have to go send them to 20 different places, because the instructions are going to have some pictorial images on what those pages look like. When we sign in blood, but the substitution for blood, but you can sign in blood too, would be red ink. That's what we sign always. So just always have a red pen and start using that as opposed to a black or a blue one. Just get it into your behaviors, right? We sign in red. We print on lawful, i.e. legal size paper, which is 8.5 by 14. 2 copies, don't need 3. To be honest, you only need 1 for real, because you're getting the original back, and we just PDFing it for the file. So we have record and documentation of your nationality. So if you ever need to prove that to anyone, you have it. And if you can't provide it for them, we have it to provide it for you. That's what that's for.
Wait. I'm going to be back in the...
There's only one place, and I believe that's on the 2nd page of the name declaration correction, which is where you put, I think actually it's on the 1st page. It might be the 1st or 2nd page. Don't get me to lying. It's one place you put it on the name declaration proclamation, your birth name. Every other place you're putting your Moorish appellation. You can make it as long as you want. You can make it as short as you want. You can just tack an L or a Bay at the end of your birth name. You can do a multitude of things, because you are the creator of your manifestation. And nobody can grant it or not grant you. Your nationality is your birthright. You have realigned yourself by just writing and signing your name. And the reality is, you don't even need to have all of those papers. They don't need to be that long. It can be 1 page. Just you realigning yourself back into your Moorish nation and your Moorish nationality. And that could just say, I, Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, previously being identified as Sharon Tracy Gale, I'm a Moorish American national. I come from the Canaanite, Hammatites, Moabites. You can kind of literally go to the Circle 7 Quran, and I believe it's either chapter 46 or 47. Do not quote me on that. You can go find out and source it for yourself. It tells you where we come from. Put that whole chapter, and then that I am this, and we're gonna come up with a script. So you ain't really gotta sit here and go through all this long drawn out nonsense that everybody wants to put you through. Everybody want to put you through processes because they so used to processes, and they don't realize they putting you through all these processes because they have a colonized mind, corporate mind. But babies, you were born Moabite. You were born a Moor. You are a Moor. Can't nobody deny you this. And if somebody's denying you this based on something not being perfectly done, what is perfectly done? And what is the perfect way to be yourself? It is not anything that is a perfect way to be yourself. Your way to be yourself is realignment of your nationality, and that is your statement to yourself who that is. And then your proof of writing it down, because you only need it because everybody want to fraud you everywhere. Like, I don't know who you are. You're a black person. Okay, well, I'm telling you who I am. That's the first declaration. I'm telling you, I'm a Moorish American national in Morocco. And the United States is a corporation. And since you don't have a nationality, you sit here. Do you realize we have the slaves, the Slavs, acting like the nobles, and the slaves, and the nobles acting like the slaves, and asking for permission to be themselves from the slaves that are acting like the nobles. You know how backwards that is? Very. So I'm going to put the instructions in the file section, and I'm gonna share it. I'm skim it. Try to lessen how much you have to read, because I don't want nationality to be the thing that you waiting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months to get accomplished. That's the first thing that you get accomplished, and that should literally take less than a week. Really, it should. And if we had more help, it would take less than a day to get, because all it is paperwork. You become a Moor. You are a Moor once you declare it again, because you've been identifying as a strong, which is the only reason why you have to realign yourself, because you've been identifying as a brand. Only reason. So family, don't let people sit here and play you. But here's the more important thing: don't play yourself by being ignorant. We have a binder for newly nationalized Moors. It's over 200 and something pages of beautiful, relevant information that you need to know. The very first 2 documents you need to read is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship and the Constitution for the United States of America, 1791. Those 2 documents you need to read. Those 2 documents are in the binder for newly nationalized Moors, which is packed with a bunch of beautiful information that I organized from a multitude of different sources that all had a little piece. Everybody had a little piece. All over here. You got a piece over here. You got a piece over here. You got a piece everywhere. It's all in one document. All of the essential things that you need to know. Some remedy in there. Some things that so you need to print that document out whenever you are able financially to do so. Put it in a binder and read it every single night. Even if you can only get a paragraph, read a paragraph. Watch House Reawakening Minds, because they packed that venue with essential information. But at the end of the day, the reasons why you got to gain knowledge is because so many people wearing turbans and fezzes is going to put you back in slavery. And the only way they can do that is if you lack knowledge. Because once you have knowledge, family, can't nobody snare you into traps unless you willfully go because you want to be snared into traps. I say this because I love you. I say this because I want to be free, and I want you to be free, and I want our children to have parents they respect, admire, and should have, which are upholding the constitutions so they don't get violated. So they're not getting snatched out of your homes. So you're not getting snatched out of your conveyances. So we can travel if we want to travel, walking, smoking, drinking. As long as we're not hurting anybody, ain't nothing wrong with that action. And can't no person who isn't even a national, who doesn't even have a nationality, who is a slave by birthright, tell you what you can and can't do on your Moroccan soil. You should be outraged at that, but come in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, because that's the only way you are supposed to come. Because realizing that we have been putting everything ahead of ourselves. Put you first. Make Morocco great again. See my lovely flag? Make Morocco great again, family. And the way Morocco becomes great again is when its people realizes, one, they are in Morocco, and two, they're Moorish Americans. That's how you make Morocco great again. And you get back to the business of your mother and your father. Islam? So, stay tuned. I love you. And if you haven't heard that before, I'm going to say it again. I love you. And I wish you to be free. And I wish our children to run up and down their Moroccan soil free as a bird. Loving life. Loving you, and not subjugated, not enslaved, not in bondage. Not on my watch, family. Not on my watch, family. So stay tuned. I'll have more videos. And I love you. Learn to love yourself, because when you love yourself, you start doing things that you deserve, which is your nationality. And raising your children not as slaves, but as nobles. Peace and love.